IndiGlobal Media Network.
Namaskar, hello and welcome to this special interaction of IndiGlobal Media Network with a special guest today at the 98th annual meet of Association of Indian Universities in Hyderabad. We are joined by Dr. Raj Singh, who is the Vice Chancellor for Jain University. Welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us.
So much. Thank you.
Sir, today's agenda and theme is Education at 2047, basically which is aligning with India's vision, Viksit Bharat and Bharat as a Vishwaguru.
Yeah.
Sir, your view on this, the far vision of education at 2047?
This vision of 2047 of developed India, which will be also the end of Amrit Kal, as the Honorable Prime Minister said, is a compelling vision. And he said that if the leadership of the nation gives you a compelling vision, all our efforts, energies, resources get directed towards achieving that vision. I think something similar is happening in a country. And therefore, very rightly, Association of Indian Universities has kept the main theme of this conference as Education at 2047. It's also because of the fact that for any country and economy to grow, standard high-quality education and research ecosystem is extremely important because the innovative ideas breed when education quality improves. Innovation also breed in the university campuses. And therefore, an ecosystem which is enabling is extremely important. I would also mention that Futuristic vision document was published in the form of National Education Policy 2020 in July 2020.
Yeah.
It has all the ingredients of taking our nation towards that vision of 2047 of developed India. If you look at the sub-themes of this conference of so many vice chancellors who have joined from all over the country and our neighboring countries, it talks about all the important subtopics, whether it is digital initiatives with creating research and innovation ecosystem or integration of Bharatiya knowledge system or Bharatiya Gyan Parampara as you call it, globalization and internationalization of education. They all have been mentioned in the National Education Policy 2020. It's one of the most discussed, debated, and a dream document which any country's education system can have. I think the deliberations which are going on since morning in today's conference are discussing some very important critical issues, including the regulatory framework, accreditation, which will put our education system at par with the best in the world. We've done a lot in the last 3-4 years, but I think a lot more has to be done. Online and open distance learning education is extremely important if you have to achieve the vision of 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. With the kind of investment required in physical campuses and infrastructure, it will not be simply possible. India is a vast country, and even if you create physical infrastructure, there are areas where students cannot attend colleges. There are people who cannot leave their jobs or businesses, small or big, but they still need to upgrade and upskill themselves. And therefore, online and open distance learning is a boon for them. I think the way things are coming together, we are moving in the right direction. And this particular annual conference of AIU is very timely. Because today is the meet to discuss these issues set bare and come up with some action plan. I must add, the time has come when we should stop talking less and start acting more. We have spoken enough for the last 4, 5, 6 years. What should be, everybody knows what should be done. I think the time has come where we need to find concrete action plans and put what should be done into action. Because once you start putting in action, take 2, 3, 4 years before you can see the results. We have seen positive results. For example, in terms of scientific publications, we have moved up many, many notches in terms of global pecking order. I think we are number 3. In terms of Global Innovation Index, we already reached 40 from 81 about 7-8 years ago. In terms of Citation Index, the quality publication also we are doing well. We are publishing more patents, we are commercializing, which is also reflected in the entrepreneurship ecosystem in the country, wherein I think more than 125 unicorns are there in the country.
Yeah.
And more than 1 lakh of startups are there, which used to be a few hundreds a few years ago. So I think this policy document has given us right direction. And if implemented in lateral spirit with right intentions, it will help us achieve the objectives. We don't have to wait till 2040. We'll achieve it much earlier. And then contribute towards the vision of our nation, of a developed nation by 2047. One very important sub-theme which has been kept for this conference is upskilling. Because if by 2030 we don't upskill or we don't respond to the skilling needs of the workplace globally, we would be hitting the brick wall. And I'm sure this time we won't let it happen. And therefore, skill training has to be integrated into education. Now, when you integrate this, it has to be done at an appropriate level. For example, the skills which are meant for school level should not be offered at university level. That's the mistake we did about 10 years ago. So, the National Credit Framework has very carefully mapped skills in terms of their levels with academic levels and added the third dimension of experiential learning, wherein a certain number of credits should come in from what students learn on the sports field, what they learn from extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities. Very holistically, if we creditize the students' learning, I think what they'll end up in terms of a final product is what the country and the world needs.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, what would be your message for the students choosing a career and a profession?
It's a very difficult question because the way things are changing, the way skill set required are changing. Dilemma before all of us as academics and the institution is that what we should teach our students. And the only solution which comes to mind is that we cannot teach them these skills. Rather, we should develop in them a capacity, a capability to constantly upgrade themselves, constant learning. And therefore, the focus is to shift from quantity of learning to quality of learning and the way they can keep themselves updated continuously. That kind of pedagogy or andragogy has to be introduced. My message to the students would be that whatever activities, whatever learning opportunities are given by the academic institutions, grab them. Do not be scared away because ultimately the onus of learning is onto them. Institutions and universities can provide the platform. It's the students who have to learn. The second thing is that somewhere down the line, I feel students are finding themselves detached from classroom learning. In any case, universities are now reducing the classroom contact hours, providing a lot of opportunities on the field. I think students should partake in that because that's where the real learning takes place. And be egoistic about learning, I would say. Because if students don't want to learn, nobody can force them to learn. And on the part of the institution, I would say a lot of focus has to be given on instruction design. Traditionally, our Indian institutions have not spent enough time on planning the teaching, learning, as well as the operations of academic institution. I think significant amount of time has to go into that. And it's only then the faculty members and academic leaders will be able to celebrate what lies in the nitty-gritty of teaching learning process. And that will in turn lead to profound learnings for these students, which somehow is making the education more student-centric or people-centric, which we have not been traditionally. At its major change, students should understand, cooperate with the institutions, rather than racing for the marks, focus on learnings. That's my final message.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your time and for joining us.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
IndiGlobal Media Network, taking innovation, collaboration and growth to the forefront.